So welcome back to some more Okami, the final episode of Okami. Where last time, we saved the land from the forces of darkness by defeating Yami. I don't want to see the cutscene. No. Oh, I didn't want to start a game. No, return to the title screen. So, this is the episode of bonuses, in which, well, we have a lot of bonus content. Well, not much bonus content, but some bonus things that we can talk about now that we beat the game. So, first things first, there's a new option on this called Presents from Issun. So, this is where all of your extras go. Okami, Demon Gallery, Scroll, which, whoa. Cool. Oh, okay, so it's a scroll of all of the enemies that we've seen, which is pretty cool. Including Waka, who's a demon for some reason. So you can actually see all these. It's pretty cool. You got Video Treasure Chest, which actually lets you see some early design footage of stuff. I'm not going to show that because I don't know if it's copyrighted, but, you know, you can see some early game stuff of that. You got all the music, which we can listen to all of the music that we so wish. I think it goes by order of towns and such. And you have art, which has concept art of monsters, of environments. There's some pretty cool stuff. There's a lot added. High resolution bestiary. And all the characters, especially for early Amaterasu, stuff like that. There's some pretty cool stuff in here. Like, really cool stuff. So I believe... Where is it? No, not the Demon Scroll. Okay, it's because I already have it. So, if you're playing older versions of the game, you would have a thing which was literally a present from Issun. That would be the 100th stray bead. So, you know what? For old time's sake, future me, put that giant number 100 on screen. It's satisfying that way. Anyways, so now that that's done, we can go into New Game Plus. I pressed circle by accident. Okay. So let's start from beginning. Now you're noticing that we lost some health here. There's a reason. Alright, welcome back to episode 1 of Okami. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing this whole rigmarole because we've already seen it before. We're not doing a whole extra LP of the same game. Maybe one day I'll do that for something. That'd be funny. So, let's go into a bit more of a prettier area. Since, well, there's really no point to this. Where are we? Yes, hello. You've lost your memory, Issun. So, we start off with most of our health. All of the sun fragments do not carry over, so we've lost all the sun fragments. We would have to recollect them throughout our journey. Our tools do transfer over, along with all of these transformers that we saw at the end of last episode, and all of our items, which are pretty nice. And most of our weapons have transferred over as well. We don't get to keep the ultimate weapons, unfortunately. You only get to have these weapons. But you do get the addition of the string of beads. Ink pot and solar energy becomes limitless, and attack power becomes times 10. Which means we can't... Okay, I can't really show it until we get a brush technique, but you can have infinite ink. So, no more use of infinity stones. We have infinite ink as long as we live. It's awesome. It's really freaking cool. I believe it also jacks up your health to be infinite, and your attack power becomes infinite. Well, times 10. You nuke everything. Other items you lose are your the water and fire tablets, because that's story related, at least for the fire tablet. So, but we do get to keep our money and our demon fang, so that's nice, I guess. As for the transformations, so we have all these transformer ones, and as you saw at the end of last episode, there was a thing where we were graded on certain things, and depending on those grades, you can get these karmic transformers. So, we can change our transformer to 1, which kind of makes you look like a little dog, like a normal dog. You're probably more like Chibi Amaterasu. We have Large Doge. That is a big chonker if I've ever seen a big chonker. We have 3, which makes it look like you're just a normal dog. You don't have any markings or the such. Number 4, I believe these start making you look like the different members of the not the Karmic 5, the Kusa 5. So I can't remember which one's which. Does it tell you? Yeah, no. Yeah, number 5, which is another dog. So it's cool that you have options on the dogs you want to play as. It's pretty cool. I don't think this shows up in cutscenes, by the way. Number 7's cool, because it's pretty much Amaterasu in her full form at the end of the game, with the giant shoulder spikes and stuff. Number 8 makes you look like your stone form, which is pretty cool. I actually like it a lot. And our final one is Ultra Realism. This one's kind of a really cool one. It makes you look like a real wolf. It's kind of creepy, but yeah, I like it a lot. It's just really funny to have something like that. But yeah, talking more about this transformation, this is mostly supposed to look like Shiranui more than anything. Unfortunately, you don't get the long like lines of hair that flow on your back and all that like Shiranui does, but it's still cool. It's still cool. So we'll just go back to our normal form. And that's pretty much all New Game Plus has to offer for you. Actually, yeah. There's really just not a lot here. I mean, yeah, you have the stray bead thing, which lets you have infinite stuff. You can just nuke everything. There's kind of no point to it. But, you know, hey, it's things for the game. So, there's that. Also, another thing that transfers... Oh, God, I did not mean to touch that. Oh, God, which button? Another thing that transfers over is all of your ink upgrades. So, you have all that to your disposal as well. I believe all the stray beads also transfer. Let's see. Oh, God. Actually, they have to transfer because otherwise... Yeah, so they all transfer over. And including the final one down here, which just says it's from the Arc of Yamato, which is not entirely true, but whatever. So, there is that. Now for other things I didn't get to talk at the end of last episode because my power cut out. Yeah. After the credits, well, during the credits, you saw a thing that I said to notice, and it was, well, my logo. Remember that thing back in Punk 10 where I said you can design a thing and you do whatever you want, and in the Wii version it didn't really matter because it actually didn't show it? That's where that comes into play. So, if you design whatever design, that design will show up in the credits, which is pretty cool. Besides that, there's really nothing else to talk about, unfortunately. There's not a lot of things added into New Game Plus. Really, it's just overpowered stuff and the karmic transformations, and that's about it. So, with that said, I want to talk more about Yami. Yami is probably the boss that has the least amount of mythological things about it. So, I did a lot of research on this guy, because I was really trying to figure out what to really talk about with him, and I never had a good chance to talk about him in the middle of the fight. So, from what I can find, it shares very many similarities with the Shinto Hiroko. Hiruko? I think that's how you pronounce it. In Shinto mythology, that is the disabled, unfortunate first son of Izanami and Izanagi. This derives from how Yami is weirdly deformed, like Hiruko, that's hard to say, in mythology, and it takes the image of a ball, which may reference how Hiruko is worshipped as the son of the god of the sun. In Japanese, that'd be Hinomiko. The main difference, however, and it doesn't solidify that he's based off of Hiruko, is Hiruko's not evil at all in Shinto mythology, at least from what I could find. And there's other things too. Yami's machinery appearance is based on, and I'm gonna really mispronounce this, Saronaki, or Kubo, which is the ultimate boss of the idiom of Japanese folklore called Hyaki Yagyo. I think that's how you pronounce it. It roughly translates to Night Parade of 100 Demons. This idiom is similar to the concept of pandemonium in English, referring to mass chaos and such as riots. Adding to this, the original name of Yami was Kubo, or Kubo. It has the weird lines above it in the concept art of the game. Another name that was used for Yami during the design the design phase of the game was Empty Death. Personally, Yami could likely be influenced by the East Asian deity Yama, who is known as Enma or Emma, King of Hades, or King of Evil, or God of Death. However, Yami doesn't share a visual resemblance at all to Yama, besides the fact that it's just the Lord of Darkness. It's a King of Evil. That's pretty much really all you can say about it. It's, as I said, there's not a lot known with Yami, at least from what I could research and what I found out, so if you have things to add to that, or if I got things wrong, let me know, because I actually want to learn more about this guy. He's pretty, I equate a lot of things to Earthbound. He's pretty similar to how Gygus is. There's just not a lot known about him, and I think that's a good thing. Keeping him mysterious is just kind of cool in my opinion. So, with all that said and done, and some time given to Yami, I want to give my final thanks and my, I guess, not contributions, but really sources that I use to develop this project and end things off for good. So, a huge source of information for the game, lore-wise and mythology stuff, derived from Chugga Conroy's LP of this game a long time ago. So, thank you to his LP for getting all the information in this game, because it's really interesting lore. To back up sources and such like that, I also used a lot of the Okami Wiki and Neoseeker, both of which were used to fill in gaps in lore that just weren't mentioned or weren't researched upon. Another huge contribution comes from a 100% walkthrough guide by Chris Williams on GameFAQs. Now, this was not directly ripped from his guide by all means, but I did use this guide a lot to kind of develop where I wanted to go at what times throughout the project. So, this project is not a blatant copy of any of Chugga Conroy's stuff or Chris Williams' guide on GameFAQs. This is its own original thing that I built myself. Those two just helped a lot with that process. So, with all that done, and nothing really else to say, that concludes everything. That is Okami. And seriously, thank you to those the people that I used for notes, because that helped out a lot when developing the notes for this LP and making this project better than it could ever be. It helped out a lot during that process. So, thank you to you guys as well for watching this LP, whether it be during the live making of the project or afterwards. Every view and every one of your guys' support is so meaningful to me, and I can never ask enough, or I can never say thank you enough is what I'm trying to say. You guys are awesome, and you let me do the things I want to do. So, thank you to everybody who's joined me on this journey. We're ending off where we began. So, next time on whatever we do next, I think we'll be changing the future. That's all I'll say on that. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.